Welcome back to Wednesday night stream, Monsters of Gladeview Valley with our DM, the Brothers Ben.
Hello and welcome. So last time we left our intrepid band of adventurers, you guys found yourselves in the town of Gladeview, a distant frontier town far from the reaches of civilization. And there you found much of the town had been under siege by these flying winged creatures, which you managed to slay, I believe, 2 of them. And in that slaying, you gave the town a glimmer of hope, and were told by the local priestess, a woman by the name of Jayla, that she had reason to believe that something in the valley was drawing these creatures to attack them. And they recently came to attack them after the mayor's manor burned down about a week prior. And there was an archaeologist in the local area who was studying some sites of interest throughout the valley, and he seemed to believe, though he did not give her details, that there was something nefarious going on. And it's now your problem. You guys are hoping to get to the bottom of where these monsters are coming from and save this lonely little village, which has no other way of defending itself. So I know I have a big map out here on the table. However, we have you still, I believe, in the town of Gladeview itself. It's a small village of maybe 100 people, significantly less with the monster attacks now. And I believe it's the next morning. You guys ended with a long rest. Is that correct?
Yeah, and now we're level 5.
I thought it was level 7.
Oh.
Wow, that's a power move. I believe I said level. Did I say level 3?
You did say level 3.
Okay. Good. Oh. Well, it looks like everyone who's not named Beauregard leveled up.
Beauregard.
No, I did. I just didn't save it.
Oh.
That's fine.
So, with that, the sun is rising over the horizon, shedding its first rays of light into the sky. Relatively cloudless. You can see a few clouds here and there, but it is a relatively clear day, and you can see the sort of ring of the Silver Spar Mountains in the distance, capped with snow at various high points. It's just this sort of like a wall, almost a ring of gray. It's a beautiful summer day. No hint of danger. No evidence that there might be monsters lurking in the sky above. What would you guys like to do?
You gonna check out like the water thing?
I'd like to find out a little bit more about that archaeologist guy. Where was he going? What was he up to? He must have stirred up a nest of something.
So are you?
I'm asking
trying
the
to
group
find-
because I'm
okay.
not smart. So, what y'all think?
I mean, we could probably try to get some information from the townsfolk before we do something like that off. Are they out and about now that it's daylight?
Most of the people have spread out throughout the town. Yes, it appears that they do come outside during the daylight hours, and you can see them tending to the damage that was totally caused by the monsters at the tavern, and the just the various faculties of their positions as villagers. You know, they still have animals to tend to in the fields. They still have crops to sow and so on. And it's weird that you kind of see the life returning to this village for a brief moment in time, with everyone nervously glancing up at the sun, even right now during the early morning, just knowing that inevitably it's going to come back down and danger will set in yet again.
Well, they said that the creatures came after that big manor burned, so maybe there's something in there that caused the creatures to be attracted.
Since apparently I'm causing some background noise, I'll be the quiet person in the back with the 20 passive perception. So if I
Well-
happen to note anything, just let me know. I'll let the
Okay.
group know.
Well, if you need me to pick up something and move it for you, I could do that.
Yeah, I think it would be prudent to go investigate the burned building.
Last time I looked, there was a leg.
Yes, we saw that.
Okay, is that a consensus to head towards the
We'll
building?
Hmm.
go rummage around in the ruined building.
Pretty prudent planning is what this party is all about.
So you guys make your way from the church over to the mayor's abode or former abode. It's just a quick left and then a few hundred feet down the street, so it's not a long journey before you arrive at the rectangular ruin of rubble that is blackened and charred and still slightly smoking, having run amok, and the villagers having been unable to put out the fire, they just let it burn, and you see just charred rubble and slag that's just collapsed, piled on top of itself. Just a ruin waiting to be removed at this point. What are you guys trying to do here? You trying to dig through the rubble, just look around?
I think that you guys should dig through the rubble and look for clues.
Yeah, that's my plan, maybe.
Sounds great. I'll pick this big piece up.
Yeah, so you grab this like a slab of rock. Make me a strength check.
Sure. Strength or athletics?
We can make it athletics.
Oof. Did it go?
I
Yep, I saw 12.
Mm-hmm.
Mm-hmm.
I don't
Oh.
see it on the stream, but I see it in D&D Beyond.
There, it's on the stream now.
Oh, okay, just a little bit of a delay. Cool. So yeah, it's a tough time moving it. You have to grunt and groan a little bit and push, and it takes an uncomfortable amount of time to move it as well. It's just sort of slow, monotonous progress as you eventually topple this this slab of rock over, and you find a part of what appears to be a destroyed piece of furniture. By the looks of it, some sort of chair that by virtue of being under this rubble survived somewhat. It's even got a few bits of cloth that are still left on it unburned.
So I got a question. And I'm scratching my head. The creatures that we fought, they didn't use fire.
Obviously, the people here were the archaeologists came back from the ruins and encouraged all the people here to engage in some kind of ritual that summoned up these creatures. I once spent a month in Skelkor where the people there tended to engage in a lot of rituals that burned down a lot of buildings just like this.
What's a skell core?
It's a country.
Oh. I think maybe we should ask them how the fire started.
The fire started internally.
That's what you were told, yes. Though no one knows the exact source.
From the ritual.
I think, as I recall, Ophelia made a solid Arcana roll, which absolutely convinced her that it was a massive fireball.
Correct. Yes. During the
Yes.
ritual process,
That is correct.
one of the mages miscast fireball and burnt the whole place down.
I'm happy to do an investigation roll to see if that turns up anything, or
For
otherwise my
ritual.
passive investigation is 17.
Yeah, you can make an investigation check to sort of sift through the rubble and glance at any signs of
I
burning.
completely agree. It is
Yep.
clear. You can
Yeah.
see the blast marks here and here.
Oh,
I'm pretty sure that this might have been a chapter house of the tongueless cult.
I
I'm
tell
just
you,
nodding my head.
worship
I don't
of
know.
Lathander always ends up in fire. I gotta tell you, that's why Saloon is the way to go. That's all I can say.
Lovely. Well, seems like we got this all figured out then.
We
What's
just need
next?
a little bit more precise directions on where the archaeologist came from, where he or she or they found the ruins.
Hmm.
They were just somewhere out there.
Maybe that priest lady could give us some more information.
I'll go ask her about it a little bit.
I think she took a shining to you.
I'm quite charming. All right, I'll go find Sister Jayla or whatever.
Jayla.
Jayla.
You turn around and she's not hard to find. There's well, she's not right there, but she's standing kind of in the entryway to the church doors, and she's just watching you guys from a distance. Not she's not trying to hide the fact that she's watching you either. She's just standing there, seeing what you're doing, and she sees you approach and takes kind of a little bit of a wider stance and says, "Did you find anything in the fire?"
Nothing of much use.
Much evidence.
Was hoping to see if you could give us a little bit more information about the archaeology site and the archaeologist.
Yes, a dwarven archaeologist came to us some time ago. A wiry little man by the name of Helmut Grindel.
Helmut. I love it.
And he came from, to my knowledge, the north. There is a colony of isolationists called the Shattershield clan that live in the mountains just north of us in the Silver Spar range. They very rarely come out and do anything. We have seen hide nor hair of them for years, and every once in a while one of them comes out to do something or another, but we very rarely get any trade or interaction with them. But this Helmut fellow was a little bit different. I gather that he was maybe not well liked by his clan, but regardless, he came to us some time ago and she just sort of broadly gestures to everything, just exploring much of the mountain range. He would spend weeks away, making his way up and down certain parts of the mountains and valleys. He went to the old Sigil Fortress, that strange structure out in the east.
In the east.
Is something about the east
Yes.
surprising to you, Miss
Did you
Ophelia?
notice whether or not he had a tongue?
Of course he had a tongue. We spoke occasionally. What does that have to do with anything?
One of my leading theories is that he may have been from the tongueless cult.
Well, if he was, he certainly was doing a poor job of being tongueless. So I don't know that theory holds water.
Did he
But,
discuss any particular excavation sites in the days before the fire?
In a matter of speaking, yes. He was known to tell stories of his escapades at the Drunken Dragon. She sort of gestures over her shoulder with her thumb, pointing to the inn. And well, he was known to embellish his tales a little bit, but he said that he found various sites throughout the valley that gave him the willies, and he thought were distinctly evil. Whether it's the presence of some force or creature, I know not. But he did bring back, and she sort of like glances around as if looking for something. It was an artifact, a metallic orb. I believe he kept it in his house. She gestures down the street. Off to the right there, at the end of the road. That was where he lived before he got taken. And this song is entirely too happy for talking about the death of someone.
I mean, he wasn't well liked, so.
He seemed liked well enough. He wasn't liked by his clan, not by the
Right.
town. So, let me understand this correctly, sister person. The archaeologist who really kind of was a tip of the wave of this monster invasion in your town, and you would like us to investigate this situation. And you're just now mentioning that not only did he have a house in the town, but he also brought an artifact back from the places that he was digging through. Is there any other information that maybe you could give us? Because this is suddenly a lot of information that maybe you didn't give us before.
Last night, I was more concerned with our immediate survival.
So we killed the monsters, and you asked us about, to hunt down all of the problems?
She gestures down the road and says, in any case, he does have a dwelling down the street.
And you're giving us permission to search it?
I am.
Right.
Did anyone ever accompany him on his travels out to the excavation sites?
She shakes her head no and says, no, he was adamant about going alone. All I ask is when you search his dwelling, please be respectful to the belongings of the dead.
Thank you for your time. I'm sure we might have some more questions later.
Did he say which was the last place he had been to? Did I miss that?
Most recently, it sounded like he had been searching a temple in the west. He mentioned a rocky canyon and moving lights in the fog.
Moonlight in the fog. Sounds beautiful.
Right then. Why don't we go check out this man's house and see what we can find in Helmet House.
So, moving down the street in the direction that Jayla pointed you find the house is maybe a bit of a stretch. It's more of a hut. It looks to be one, maybe two rooms. There's a rickety set of 3 wooden stairs that lead up to the front door of this structure, which is this sort of like crooked wooden door, sized for a dwarf, of course. So some of you will probably have to maybe hunch a little bit to get into the door frame.
You pillow cyber.
And yeah, it's pretty unimpressive from the outside. There are 2 windows that seem to be without panes, though the structure itself is sort of on stilts, so they are much higher than they would be normally if it were on the ground. Yeah, how do you guys want to do this?
As I walk up to the house, I kind of sniff a little bit. Ugh, smells like dwarf in there. I'm not going in. Ugh, y'all can look. I'll stand out here.
Did the dwarfs smell worse than your mother?
Oh, way worse.
Well, I have no sense of smell, so I will enter.
Okay, so you move up to the door and you find it appears to be stuck, not so much locked as it just appears to be very much not moving.
Beauregard, would you mind picking this lock?
I will pick this lock with my foot,
Make
and I'm gonna kick it.
an unarmed attack.
Unarmed attack. Kaboom.
Oh,
Nice.
Yeah, with a loud thump, the door swings open. This loud creak echoes, giving way to a dark room that just this wave of like alcohol and some other like just musky scent just blasts through the door.
Ugh,
Basically,
dwarf.
everyone can smell it, even if you're not standing on the stairs. It's just this blast of frankly kind of putrid smell. And Syl and Beauregard, you guys being the first ones, are greeted to a shuttered room with a sort of a large, like leatherback armchair situated in front of a sort of a makeshift fireplace that has been erected out of what looks like clay bricks, leading up to a metallic pipe that serves as a chimney that just moves out and like up to the wall and then apparently comes through on the other side. There is a small sort of like kitchenette area that's crammed into one side of the hut with a small bench and table and various areas for like food preparation. And you can see now that there are several rotted pieces of meat on the counter that are causing this delightful waft of stench. And then thirdly, there is a sleeping pallet of sorts that has been crammed next to a oversized trunk that is currently shut and locked with a like oversized padlock.
oh my God! Ew! What is that smell? Is there a body
I
in
told
there?
you it smells like dwarf in there. Ugh. And I'm gonna back away from the door. Ugh.
Phil, can you even smell anything? Do you have like an olfactory sense?
No, it is the same as outside in here for me.
can
I
go
will
in
venture
there.
forth. Where would you like me to search first?
Move all that
May
light.
Saloon guide you.
You should probably search any containers, I guess.
Should we
If
start
I
with this
had
trunk?
an artifact, I would put
The
it
one that's
inside.
locked?
What did Wayne say?
Oh, I said the one that's locked? Yeah, that's probably a good
Okay.
candidate for his artifact.
Yeah. It is the most likely place to conceal something. Do any of you have any ability to actually pick a lock? I'm not quite sure Beauregard will be able to kick this one open.
Maybe he could hit it with his sword. You could smash it with a club.
Can I?
Kick it with your big foot.
You talking to me or Beauregard?
Yes.
Both.
You should both try. Your foot is made out of metal or wood or non-flesh.
True. I'm just not great at strength-based feats, however.
I mean, if you need me to come in and kick something, I suppose I could, but. Ugh.
Can you drag it outside?
Yeah, I was gonna ask, can I try to drag it?
As you guys are talking, Orion, you would hear this like skittering noise from within the building.
God.
The sort of like scampering of little feet.
Oh, this place is infested with rats. Watch out.
But while they're fiddling around with the chest, I will. You said there's another room, right?
Make a perception check.
With me?
Yeah. Would you guys like me to draw out kind of how this hut is arrayed?
No, we can imagine it.
Yeah.
Okay.
Going around with my eyes.
Theater of the mind.
Oh my God, that's so scary.
You don't see a second room, Noah.
Hey, Sil,
I'm
if
not
you
even-
see, if you see any like charcoal or incense or herbs in there, you should grab them.
Okay. I guess I'll look around while I'm trying to drag this trunk out. Well, let me
Okay,
look around
so-
and then I'll try to drag it.
Yeah, make me a perception check.
15, which is my passive.
So where the door opened inwards, it concealed what appears to be a low bookshelf that is covered with scrolls and manuscripts and various other like pieces of writing that are just sort of strewn all about it, all over it, with seemingly no organization or sense of structure. It's just stuff piled on top of stuff, more and more paper that's like accumulated over an unknown amount of time. It's covered in dust, and you can see bits and like shards of pottery, and like you see like a little clay sculpture that looks like it's been broken in half, and various other like archaeological elements that are strewn throughout this shelf. But you can make a strength check to move that that trunk if you'd like to do that.
Oh, this will be fun. Let's roll it. 2.
Wow.
It is far too heavy. You guys are rolling like great tonight. Just incredible.
We are on
Beauregard, I
fire.
seem to be unable to move this trunk. However, I can most likely collect some of these documents and scrolls and bring those outside.
Beauregard like pokes his head around the corner. He's taken out a handkerchief and put it over his nose. Oh, fine. And he kind of takes the handkerchief and tucks it back up his sleeve. I'll come and pick up this chest and drag it outside. But I'm gonna take a deep breath before I go in. What, you want a strength check or athletics?
We can make it athletics. It's fine.
All right.
That's a little better than the 2.
So yeah, a loud sort of scraping noise emanates from the trunk as you pick it up and find that it is fairly heavy. It's got some heft to it, and you drag it across the wooden floor as it sort of scrapes along the ground. You get it to the steps out onto there's not really a porch, but onto the first step. So it is outside. Are you bringing it down the stairs?
Just outside the door, so I don't have to smell the dwarf.
Right on. Yeah. So it's on the third stair at the very top, just sort of sitting just outside the doorway.
And I just open it.
The trunk has
well,
a padlock on it.
Oh, yeah. So I will use my lockpick on it.
Which version of your lockpick? The bladed
The
kind or
Morningstar.
the? Okay. Make make an attack roll.
All right, sure. With my Morningstar, crack.
Crack.
Oh. I think you hit it.
I was gonna use my greatsword, but I was like, no, I don't really want to break my greatsword. I'll use my
Yeah,
Morningstar instead.
Roll for damage. You just take out the Morningstar. You wind up and come in with this wide sweeping strike, which just obliterates the padlock. It just breaks into a bunch of pieces, clattering to the ground. It's very satisfying to watch.
See? Lockpick. And open up the trunk. What do we got inside?
You reach to open up the trunk, and there's a blur of motion from the rear side of the trunk. This tiny little like flash of this sort of like brownish red color, and you feel this like blistering pain in your hand, Beauregard. You take a point of piercing damage, and I would like you to make me a Constitution save.
Okay.
Not bad.
You
not good,
feel
though.
this uncomfortable sensation, this sort of like tingling sensation run up your hand and your arm before you just sort of like shake it off, and it has no effect. However, you see now, having jumped on top of the trunk, sort of defending it with its tail raised above its head with this sort of like wicked stinger, two wings sort of spread out in a defensive stance, is a tiny little red dragon.
Oh my god!
That is sort of guarding the chest, sort of hissing at you.
Look
Sort of
at
snaps its jaws
Well,
at
aren't
you.
you just the cutest little thing? Please don't sting me again. I step back a little bit. It's all right, buddy. We're here to help.
Make a persuasion check.
Persuasion. I mean, I am a southern gentleman. That rolls a 1.
Yeah. it sort of snaps at you and gestures menacingly with its stinger on the end of its tail.
Does anybody know how to talk to this thing?
Yeah, Ophelia will go right up and be like, "Oh my god, you are the cutest thing. Do you need our help?"
Watch out, it's got a stinger.
You can also make a persuasion
Got me
check.
on the hand.
Yeah.
Oh wait, I do it like this on this one. Normal roll. 14. That's still not great.
A 14.
Shows a 9.
Yeah, the creature. Well, that's because it was a custom roll.
Oh.
Why did you do a custom roll?
Why did that do it like that?
You have to click the actual button, the actual
the +2.
The +2 or plus
I
whatever.
clicked on the little die.
Yeah, that's
Yeah,
how
so
you just roll a flat like D20
Oh.
or D6 or whatever.
Don't count this one. I'm just gonna test it to see if I can.
No,
do
it says
correct.
custom roll again.
It still says custom roll? I swear I was doing it on the right. But it added the 5 that time.
It doesn't even show us that it added 5.
Yeah, I'll see
Really?
that.
Do you have sort of third-party modification enabled?
Do I still have D&D Beyond on? Or Beyond 20?
In my experience, it usually just doesn't show up when you have Beyond 20
Yeah.
on, but it might have changed. I don't know.
I turned mine off before we play.
Then I don't. I turned the dice roll thing on. I don't know what else
Okay.
to do other than that.
So I'm going to take a look at Ophelia's sheet here, because when I do this,
Yeah,
that shows 18 plus 5.
we'll take that roll.
So Amy, when you click the button, where are you clicking on the sheet?
So I hover over the +5, and then I just
Yeah?
click on that.
Yeah.
Huh.
Wild. Okay. I don't know how to solve this.
I'll take a look at it later.
Okay.
If we
yeah,
know what your
moving on.
plus is, we could just do a roll
Yeah.
and you can add your plus.
Yep.
That's fine.
So you see the thing, sort of the little dragon, sort of. It still retains its defensive posture, but the tail lowers a little bit, and it sort of glances around. You can see its little eyes sort of darting to and fro, left and right, sort of sizing each of you up. you feel a psychic presence touch your mind, Ophelia. This sort of you get like an image in your head rather than direct words being spoken to you, and it's you feel that you're being told to move away, to back up.
You guys, this is just like that time that I ate too many mushrooms from the garden, but I think that it wants us to step away from it.
Well, all right then. I step down. I go down one step away from.
Okay, so you back up a little bit. The tiny dragon does not really react to this slight reduction in distance.
Tiny
Psilocyber.
dragon, tiny dragon, we're looking for some ruins that the dwarf that used to live in this squalid hut found.
That's one way to approach it. It sort of its eyes sort of its brow sort of furrows, and it gets this almost like a scornful look on its face. It kind of cocks its head to the left a little bit, and you feel that psychic presence again. And you get a distinct like resemblance of a face. You can't quite make it out entirely, but you know that there's sort of a short, sort of roundish head, sort of widening in the center. These two red ears that sort of stick out a little uncomfortably far. Long, gangly brown hair. A scar on the lower lip, and you start to get this resemblance of a dwarf that's sort of being beamed into your mind.
I don't know if that's the dwarf that was digging in ruins, but did he kidnap you?
The creature continues to communicate, and you feel you feel a sense of attachment to this image.
Oh, he's a good guy.
And then you feel a sensation of sort of desire or questioning. This thing is confused.
He left
some
you
way.
here. Now you're abandoned, and you want to know where he is.
You get an affirmative.
Well, it's like your tiny lucky day because we are looking for him too. He may or may not have been taken by monsters.
Make another persuasion check.
Okay. Clicking on the +5. Still not great. But does it show as anything?
Shows as an 8.
No, it just says 8.
What the balls?
So that's an 8 plus 5, right? Or is that with the +5?
No, that the 8 was the roll. +5 is what I would add to it.
So
but I can't even see my 8.
It shows up in the game log for us.
This is so strange. Maybe, okay,
Wow.
I'm just going to exit out of D&D Beyond and then open it up again because sometimes that fixes stuff.
It says roll with dice of healing. I don't know if that makes any difference.
Yeah, that's just the style of
that's
dice
just
she
the
chose.
cosmetic.
Yeah.
So the little dragon buddy sort of, again, brow furrows, and suddenly the sensations that you're feeling vanish, and you get one of anger and fear, and you feel this sort of like rocketing, shaking sensation, and you get the vision of like a shattered lock in your mind. A shattered padlock.
This thing was in the chest, right? Or
You
was it
don't know.
outside the chest and it flew in to stop me?
You're not sure.
Oh, all right.
It just sort of climbed up
Is the
from
chest
somewhere.
The chest is still locked, though?
The chest is unlocked. The padlock is in pieces on the stairs. And when Beauregard reached to open it, it sort of
that's when the
sprang
chest-
into
Oh,
existence.
yeah.
It just sort of
Oh,
like
okay.
appeared.
Okay. I'm not sure if you want us to not open the chest or to open the chest. So I'm going to try to open the chest, and then if you don't want me to open the chest, you can sting me with your tail. And then she's going to try to open the chest.
Okay, and it's going to sting you with its tail.
Son of a goat!
What is your armor class?
13.
Okay, yeah, that's a number. That's a 15. So, you take another point of piercing damage and make a Constitution saving throw.
All right. Now I've closed D&D Beyond and reopened it, so let's see what happens.
I believe in you.
It's gonna work.
Nope.
No, it's not. It's
Come
still
on!
a custom roll. Well, it's a nat 20.
It's a nat 20, which is a good thing.
Wait, I have
Yeah.
a +1, so.
So you bring your hand back. There's a little blood sort of trickling down it. And again, you feel, just like Beauregard, you feel this tingly sort of sensation running down your arm, but you're able to shake it off.
Now, I'm not a dragon doctor, but I think that he is sad that we broke his lock.
Well, little buddy, we're trying to find the stinky dwarf that lived here.
I think it makes him sad when we disparage him.
I
think he was friends with him.
I wasn't disparaging him. I was stating a fact. Little buddy.
Some people's stinky is other people's pleasant.
Okay. We're just trying to find your dwarf friend, and we can't do it until we look and get the information we need.
The creature seems to weigh your words before.
I mean you no harm.
Before
And
I
I'll
sort
put
of like.
my Morning Star away, because I guess I still have it
Okay.
in my hand. Put it
Okay,
away.
yeah, that's a.
Put my hands out, in a placating gesture,
Yeah.
I mean you no harm.
And it kind of glances between the all of you. Its wings sort of flex a little bit. It backs up, getting to the very like rear edge of the chest, and then it sort of like it beats its wings real quick and sort of flutters up onto the door frame, where it's now sort of like latching onto the door frame, like almost like an insect, as it cranes its head in your direction, then like looking down at the trunk.
All right. We'll
Have a
take
big
good
feeling about
care
that.
of your friend's things. We won't disturb him too much. We're just trying to find out where he could be. And I kind of gesture at Ophelia.
You want
'Cause
me
you're
to open it?
Well, you're sitting right there. I'm further back.
Okay. Gonna open it.
Yeah, you reach for the chest, and the creature does not react. It continues to just sort of watch you, and you pull the trunk open and find that it's filled with a number of things. You see there's a fair amount of adventuring gear in here. You see ropes, torches, climbing gear. You see various utensils for archaeology, a small mattock, a brush, various other instruments that might be used to excavate or clean certain items of value, and various other utensils are sort of strewn throughout this box. There's no real like order or semblance of structure to the way things are placed in here, but there is a fair amount of supplies in here that look to be useful.
Is there any charcoal or incense or herbs?
Make an investigation check.
Okay. My investigation is +0, so however it rolls it.
You can offer some guidance.
9. I mean, how would you know what I was looking for? It wouldn't really make sense for you to guide me on the roll when I was just kind of like looking in. But it's a 9.
Okay, so a 9 will
Not
net you
finding anything.
chalk, but
Chalk.
no incense or or herbs or anything of like you see some sticks of chalk and you're like, ooh, sticks of incense, and then it's not that.
Smells them. Nope, it's not right.
Is there a map or something in there?
There's chalk.
Well, that doesn't help. And I kind of look over at the insect-like tiny dragon. Do you know if there's a map or a logbook or something, little short round?
It does not reply.
Ugh.
I don't think it likes that name.
Well, I mean, it's a little guy helping an archaeologist. It's got to be short round, right?
Not very slender, this dragon.
You call him Dr. Jones, lady. Sorry. All right then. And Cellar, are you still inside?
I was gonna bring some documents out. I don't know what all I was able to gather up from in there.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, so if you're doing that while this is all happening, you could have gathered a fair amount of documents. Many of them are like sketches of things. None of them, or I shouldn't say none of them, but few of them appear important. You see a sketch of what looks like a totem pole, one that looks like a large tree on a hill, another one that looks to be like a dodecahedron, like a D12, that is flanked by 4 rectangular pillars.
Sounds important.
You see a sort of a strange symbol that is sketched. It's sort of this spiral that spirals in on itself. It's shaped like a diamond. And then there's various other drawings of pottery, machines, equipment, lots of other just sort of nonsensical things that you don't necessarily understand at a first glance. But you do see a handful of maps that you would be able to pull out as well.
All right, Beauregard, I think I found some maps in here. Maybe we could use these to navigate ourselves to one of these archaeological sites.
That sounds lovely. It's a start, right? That's what we're looking for.
Perhaps we could ask our new small dragon friend if any of these seem exceedingly important.
I don't think he likes me. He tried to sting me once. Maybe you could try talking to him.
Right, I think he did it, though.
Maybe he is hungry after being alone for so long, and Syl will pick off one of the mushrooms from his body and place it on the ground for the dragon, if the dragon would like to eat it.
Ew.
It's an edible mushroom. It's a normal one.
Right. Make a animal handling check.
Oh, I'm good at this. 24.
Wow.
The dragon sort of glances at the mushroom, then at you, back at the mushroom, just drops from the door frame and sort of at the last second lets out its wings and glides over to the mushroom before snatching it up and just gobbling it down. And then it's sort of like, it kind of rubs against you like a cat, just this sort of like affectionate gesture.
Well, look at that.
He seems all right, Beauregard. I don't know
Well,
what his issue is with you.
you know, different folk take to different folk. Nothing against him.
I feel like, though, if he was guarding this little chest, there has to be something in there that is meaningful in some way. Like some incense. Or charcoal.
Gee. I wonder what Ophelia's after.
Or maybe some herbs.
Do we need to hit the general store? Do you need to buy
Yeah,
some
if they have
stuff?
that here. Listen, while I was sleeping last night, I was gifted with a vision of a ritual that I'm certain I can perform if I just get some incense, some charcoal, and some herbs.
I'm sure if you ask Sister, what's her name, over at the church, she'll help you out. I mean, we did kill a couple of them monsters for them. They owe us a little. But is there anything else in that chest? Does anyone else want to look?
I can just tell you guys what's in the chest
Yeah.
if we want to cut right to it. So there is a full Dungeoneer's pack in here. So that's a backpack, a crowbar, a hammer, 10 pythons, 10 torches, a tinderbox, 10 days of rations, and a water skin, as well as 50 feet of rope. There is a climbing or climber's gear, I believe it is called, in here as well. Along with what looks to be a hand crossbow and 20 hand crossbow bolts.
No spherical artifact in here.
Oh, that's the one I forgot to mention. And then a oh, that's almost important, huh?
A metal
then
sphere of
it's
Oh, wait, here it is.
artifact.
yeah, it's a metallic sort of rusty sphere that's looks like it's maybe made of iron or something. It has these sort of like flecks of rust that are just sort of like scattered across it. And then you can see these sort of like deep straight grooves, these lines that crisscross around it. In no particular order or pattern. There's not a like a satisfying geometry to it. There's just these like deep scars in the orb.
Can I cup the orb in my hands and use prestidigitation to clean off all of the rust and debris?
You sure can after you make an intelligence saving throw.
Sure. That's also not going to go well for me. I have a +0 to this one as well, for the record. Oh, that's not horrible.
There you go.
What's it come out to? Oh, a 16? You
Yeah,
said plus zero. Yeah. You feel this like tingling sensation that just like sort of covers your whole body. It's sort of like the pins and needles you get when you lose circulation in a limb. It's just this like sort of like numbness, and you hear a voice just sort of in the corner of your mind. Consume.
Wow.
Does this voice want me to consume this orb?
You have no idea, but as soon as this voice echoes the word, the sensation is gone, the voice is gone, you're just left holding the orb.
Guys, I kind of want to eat this orb. Would that be weird?
Yes. It's metal.
Well, yeah, but it said to consume.
Orbs. What do you mean it said?
It said consume. So I feel like it meant for me to consume it.
Oftentimes, I find that orbs are not meant to be taken literally.
I think things can't talk. Usually.
I mean, we're all talking.
Excuse me.
But
Ooh, yeah, maybe we can put it inside Syl, because he's just made out of wood, so he doesn't actually have to eat it, but we could put it inside of him.
I think things that tell you to eat might not be the best advice to take. My daddy had some real crazy magic items, and some of them they were pretty cursed, and strange voices emanating from objects are not to be obeyed.
Oh. You all could just
It's a good rule of thumb.
Well, I mean, if I hadn't obeyed a small object that I found, I wouldn't be gifted with these amazing powers that I have now. Maybe if I eat this orb, I'll get more power.
I mean,
If only we had some kind of other planar pocket place where we could store all this stuff that, we could put it there and not have to worry about it.
Well,
I can put it
You
here
know?
in my bottle.
You have a bottle?
Yeah,
What would it even fit in there?
I can fit in there.
If you all could just give me a little bit of time to go over this orb and sort of look at it and discern it a little
Yeah,
bit.
it might tell you to eat it, but you can have it.
Yeah, I can try to determine a little bit more about it, maybe what it's capable of, or
You should eat it though.
Well, I probably won't eat it.
I think you're a little bit fixated on eating the orb. Let's find out what it is first.
I mean, it said
So I can do identify as a ritual.
Okay.
I guess that takes like what 10 minutes or something.
Yeah,
I don't
10
know.
minutes.
fine. Well, while you're doing that, I'm gonna go see if I can get some charcoal, incense, and herbs from
And
the church.
I'm gonna look at the maps that Syl brought out. Maybe we could
And I'm
plot a
also gonna
path.
try to turn off beyond 20.
Well, what was Beauregard doing?
Beauregard is gonna look at the maps that Syl brought out. See if we can maybe plot a path. Like
Okay.
possible sites this guy was at.
I'll try to help with that.
Yeah, I would assist with that too.
Then no real role required here. You guys would effectively get this map that's here in front of you, with 3 locations marked. I will circle them, and I will make it a bright red so they're easy to see. There, there, and there.
And this black line is a road, I assume. Yeah.
You could assume whatever you'd like, but
I mean,
you did come from the south on a road up into the town, and there was a
fork.
branching road that went off to the west. So yeah, that's probably a road.
Rock on. All right then. It looks like there's a pretty easy path for us to follow. Yeah. If we, putting these maps together, if we head up this way here, we can go off the road to the northwest, and then come back to the road to the north, and then follow around the road as much as we can. It goes through the woods there, but comes out over by that. That was probably that citadel that the sister was mentioning earlier. I'm not sure, but I mean, I don't know. Can I draw? I can. We could go this way and just hit each. I don't know how to erase it now, but I mean,
There's
an eraser.
yeah.
There we go.
Yeah.
Wow, this is very intuitive. Nice.
It's very intuitive.
Yeah.
That's why I use it.
I mean, we come up here, up in the road, and then we can peer off this way, and then head on back up, go there, and then head back and around and come here. What y'all think?
Well, I was thinking if we had a couple of guys right here like this, and some goblins came at us like this, one of them came around this way, we might have Syl just run up to the right there. Sorry. I don't have a map. Oh, I can't erase it. Oh, yes.
There you go.
Sometimes it's a little finicky. Just give it an old rub.
She's a genie in a bottle. Come on, come on, come on and let her out. Sorry. All right. So what y'all think? It looks like it's probably need to buy a little bit more rations. I'm not sure how long this road is, but I've got 10 days on me. Maybe we could.
There were 10 days in the trunk as well. FYI.
Do we have another mouth to feed? Is the question. I'll bring in the short round with us.
Sounds like it eats mushrooms.
Do you want to come with us to find your man? I'm asking the insect.
Yeah. It just sort of like scurries up Syl's leg, clinging onto the Warforged chassis.
Right then. So perhaps buy a little bit more rations if the town could even spare them, and maybe pack up and start heading out. What you think?
Sounds like a plan.
And
I think that is agreeable.
We'll wait for notes to finish identifying that orb.
On that note, Noah,
Notes.
as your you have to be in contact with this object, so you take it. Can you make me an intelligence saving throw, please?
Yes. Oh, another one. 2 in a row.
Wow.
He's gonna eat it.
I'm gonna eat it.
Kill.
Oh.
And you feel the same sort of tingly sensation, and man, a natural one's pretty bad. I'm going to say that about 7 minutes into this ritual, after hearing that that utterance, you still feel that sort of like tingling. It's still there, and you find yourself unable to move, unable to complete the ritual. And there's this sort of external force, and you feel your hand raising, though you did not command it to do so, and it sort of lifts off the orb, the other hand firmly grasping it, and you sort of turning to point one of your fingers. I'm going to roll some dice here. Give me just a minute, guys. So Ophelia is our unlucky guest.
Hopefully
She's
Ophelia has gone
out.
to the church to get some incense,
Damn.
charcoal, and
Okay.
herbs.
So then it would be Orion, who I presume is currently puzzling over some maps.
Mm-hmm.
And Orion, you can also make me an intelligence saving throw. Excellent. So I'm trying to read what this spell does on a success. I don't think anything happens. Yeah, so you get this sort of like reeling sensation in the back of your mind, and you feel for a moment that you are on fire. But you realize that that's not the case, and you sort of glance over your shoulder, and you see Noah sitting on the ground, orb clutched in one of his paws, eyes rolled into the back of his head. He's pointing one finger at you, and you can see he's incanting under his breath. He's casting something at you, which you are thankfully resisting, but something's not quite right here. What are you doing?
I will attempt, being concerned for Noah's safety. We've traveled together for a little while, and knowing that he doesn't usually attempt to harm me in this way, I will channel my divinity for Twilight Sanctuary, which creates a sphere around me filled with dim light. Lasts for a minute. And I can choose a feature, either granting temporary hit points to people within that sphere, or ending a charm or frightened effect on any creature in that sphere.
Sure. Yeah, so
And
you
I will attempt to do that, assuming that based on Ophelia's comments before, maybe the sphere is affecting him in some way.
You grasp your holy symbol, and this sort of light radiates out from you, this sort of like dim moonlight, and Noah just, his eyes snap back, orb tumbles out of his paw into the dirt. And Noah, I've marked it off on your sheet, but you've expended a second level spell slot, and you are back to your normal self.
Ooh. I don't know what happened. I got lost in the middle of my attack.
You tried to burn me somehow. What?
Wait, what?
Was that sphere controlling you?
not really sure. I mean, I was just trying to determine its properties, and all of a sudden, I'm not really sure what happened, and then I dropped it.
Well, and just because the moonlight is still upon us, I'm just going to give us all 1d6 plus 3 temporary hit points, because hey, what the hey? I got this burning for another minute, why not?
You got to roll 1d6, right? Woohoo!
Ooh.
8 temporary hit points. We're just going to keep doing that for the next 9 rounds or so.
It just
See how high we
replaces.
can get.
Well, temp hit points don't stack, but
Yeah.
yeah, you could get up to 6. So the orb is now in the dirt. You guys doing anything with it?
I think we need to put that thing away. Between Ophelia trying to eat it and Noah now trying to shoot people, I don't think we should be playing with it.
That seems like a fair assessment.
I
Perhaps
think
I
our
can
little
try.
dragon friend was onto something.
1 second.
I think that's right. I'm gonna try to take a bag, my backpack or something, and kind of scoop it up without touching it.
Okay, yeah, you sort of scoop it up, and the pseudo dragon has a very smug, like "I told you so" look on its face.
Oh, you were right, show around. You were right. And I'll give him one of the iron rations from the chest if he's still hungry.
Make an animal handling check.
Woohoo! I'm awesome at that. See?
Yeah.
He bites your finger as he takes
Ah!
the food.
Well, I'll keep trying.
By the way, I'm a little light on rations, so if we're heading out, I should probably try
Well,
this.
there's 9 in this chest here, because I just gave one to him.
Well, he wouldn't have eaten an entire day's worth of rations. It's an entire day's worth of stuff. So you would have given him a little,
All right, so then
a
there's
little
10.
piece of dried meat or something.
There's 10 here. So, and I have 10 on me.
Yeah,
I have
Ophelia
another 10 that I won't use at all, so.
Ophelia has none for the record, although she's not there.
So,
For some
you won't
reason,
use them because you
it's
don't eat then. Is that right?
That is correct. I do not need to eat, breathe, or sleep.
That comes in handy, I'll bet.
Well, in the stinky dwarf hovel, it definitely comes in handy.
I guess we have enough for a while to not have to worry.
All right then. And I'm sure some of us can hunt. I'm not much of a hunter myself, but can anyone hunt?
Probably could take down some small animals if I had to.
All right
I-
then.
Know the basics.
Excellent.
By the way, does the little buddy here seem to mind if we take a few things out of this chest? Because I do use a hand crossbow, and I could take the extra bolts.
The pseudo dragon does not seem to indicate one way or another, but it seems pretty indifferent to whatever you decide to do.
All right. Well, I look at them and I'm like, I'm just gonna take some of these bolts. I'll give them back if we don't need them.
We looked through the papers and we looked through the chest. Did we look anywhere else? Maybe under the bed, find something hidden?
Are you gonna go back in and look under the bed?
I'll go in and look around.
Yeah, I can
This
go
is
back in
great.
too.
Yeah, you guys go back in. I'm gonna stay out here, and I pull my handkerchief out and put it over my nose again. Certainly.
So either Syl or Orion, you guys can either each make one or make an one of you can make an investigation at advantage. It's one or the other.
You should probably make the investigation.
Sure.
Yeah, definitely.
Well, the 20's nice.
I'll take the 20.
Cool. So you glance about, sort of search through the squalid hut, and you find two things. One is a pouch of gold that was sort of lumped under the sleeping mat. The other is a trap door that was very well hidden, sort of just it wasn't particularly covered by anything, but it didn't have any obvious markings, and with it being so dark in here, it was kind of hard to see at first glance. So you sort of feel it bounce underneath your weight as you're stepping through here, and you look down and you see it.
I'll mention it to the folks and attempt to open it.
Okay, so you call out to them, telling them you found a trap door, and I presume Sill's in here too because he was helping you. And you reach down, and there's a sort of an iron ring used to open it. And you grab it, and it sort of squeals loudly. You hear the hinges sort of protest as you pull up on it, and it leads down into what appears to be some sort of cellar. There's a wooden ladder that leads downward into darkness.
Ooh, looks like he's got a root cellar. Maybe he has some more rations down here. I'll check it out.
So you begin climbing down the ladder, and you're a Twilight cleric, so you have dark vision, right?
Yep, and for anyone else that needs it. And I'll give myself a little extra, what do they call this little feature? Vigilant Blessing. To give myself advantage on the next initiative roll.
Oh.
Not that I would need it, I'm sure, but I'll do that anyway.
Okay. You get to the bottom of the cellar. It's not far. And it just seems to be a small, sort of like earthen carved box. Really, it's just like a square room. And it is, in fact, a root cellar. You can see dried foods that are hanging from various drying racks. You see dried fish, dried meats, dried roots, and various other sort of like supplies that litter the room. Let me get my list here. So you see there is a table that has enough supplies to make a healer's kit,
Ooh.
as well as there is a short sword that is lying along with those items, and a sort of a crystalline tipped staff that is leaning against that same table. It's just sort of standing upright, and you see the crystal has just this little flicker of light in it.
Oh, very nice. I'll make sure I get enough for the food and the healer's kit. I'll pick up the short sword because I don't know about cursed weapons, but that staff looks a little funny, and we'll see which is right to be concerned about. So I would attempt to pick up the staff wrapped in something, because I've seen that orb and that was dangerous. So
Right.
I'm gonna try to wrap that in something before I take it out to my friends.
Right. No adverse effects. You scoop up the things, you gather them all up, and I presume make your way back up the cellar, or back up the
Oh
ladder?
yeah, proud as a peacock at all the cool stuff I found.
There would
Check
also
it out,
have been,
guys.
I will say, 5 more days of rations down here.
All right.
And yeah, so you climb back up the ladder, bring it all up, start showing everyone the stuff. Now this
Maybe you
music
can
is too
identify the
spooky.
staff. Maybe it won't try to take over your mind.
can certainly try.
Although,
Although I
if
would
you
not-
get taken over, I'm gonna have to wait till tomorrow to ask for Saloon's favor again. So
can always do it another time.
I could just knock him out. Couple punches to the face, it'd be over.
good thinking.
It's up to y'all. I don't feel like I should be worried about touching everything we come across, but
Well, I mean, there's some light inside that staff. It looks pretty cool.
well, if you'd like, I can spend another 10 minutes and try to figure it out.
All right. Well, we gotta wait for Ophelia to come back anyway.
All right. Get another attempt at identifying and hope that I don't try to kill anyone.
Oh, I'm watching you this time.
So are you just checking out the staff?
Yes.
Okay. The staff is called the Abjurer's Best Friend. I do not have this item in D&D Beyond right now, but I can make one up soon. And it is a spellcasting focus that can, as a bonus action, up to 3 times per day, grant a character within 30 feet 1d6 temporary hit points.
Awesome. That's great. Spellcasting focus right there. 1d6 temporary hit
that
points.
seems to be able to do this and that and the other thing. All those things that you heard.
Does the short sword have any other description to it, or it looks pretty standard? Does it have a sheath?
The short sword did not come with a sheath, not one that you saw anyway. And upon closer inspection, there is a slight sort of like hum of energy around it, and you do see a few sort of carved runes in the blade that appear to lend it some magical credence.
Hey, Noah, maybe you can check this one out too. I don't know where the hell Ophelia got off to, but apparently she's just all kinds of time.
Well, one, she's got to find the stuff, and then she's got to ritually cast it. So, like, that's at least, 25 minutes.
Well, he's already touched the short sword, so I'll take another 10 minutes.
And we'll wait for you to come back.
Yeah. So that I will just tell you is it's called a charged short sword. It is magical for the purposes of bypassing magical resistances, though it doesn't have a +1 bonus or anything to it. It's just magic. And then while that's happening, we will go to Ophelia, who is attempting to find Sister Jayla.
Ophelia, you're breaking my heart. Sorry.
I'm going to attempt to find her at the church.
Yeah, she's conferring with several villagers just inside the halls of the church, and you see them sort of separating ways as you approach, and she kind of looks you up and down and says, "Is there something else you needed?"
Yes,
How
I
does
need
the-
charcoal, incense, and herbs.
May I ask as to why?
Well, you may. I had a dream last night of a ritual that I could cast to summon a small creature to do my bidding.
That sounds vaguely menacing when you put it that way. You just nod.
Yeah.
She
I'm pretty sure I can summon a tiny dragon. We found a tiny dragon in your dwarf friend's house that attacked us.
She sort of abruptly leans forward and places the back of her hand on your forehead. You don't seem like you have a fever. Are you feeling all right?
Oh, well, no. I am in a village in the middle of nowhere being attacked by monsters, and I just got stung by a tiny dragon, so in general, I'm not feeling great. However, I feel like I might be better if I had some incense, charcoal, and herbs. I'm willing to pay for them.
Well, you've already done us a great favor. I suppose I could
I
find you
mean
something.
a lot, like a lot of it.
How much?
Like so much that it would be worth 10 gold pieces.
That is a lot.
It is a lot. Yeah, I need a lot.
She sort of glances around.
Like this much. Like
Then perhaps a small donation to the church is in order.
Sure. As I said, I am willing to pay for it because it's a lot. It's a lot. So much.
Yes, then I will find you something.
Yeah.
Right now.
Right.
There's a sort of like awkward pause. The collection dish is over there, and she just sort of like breezes past you, sort of walking at a brisk pace.
I'm gonna wait for the stuff before I donate.
Okay.
Like, what if there's not enough stuff?
I'm gonna make some rolls here.
Uh-oh.
Oh boy. Oh no.
Oh, it went. Oh boy.
Okay. Well. Jayla returns. And she has been able to find charcoal and herbs. But she's fresh out of incense.
Are you serious, Sister J Law? J Law. Where else do you think would be incense in this town?
Well, I don't know of anyone who was a purveyor of incense here, though you might be able to find some in the old fishing village, though I would not recommend you go there.
Well, it smells a lot like
Ever.
fish, which would be why they would need incense. Where is the fishing village?
Oh, it's in the north, a little bit west, just north of the forest. It's well, no one lives there anymore.
And there
And
could be incense there to cover the stench of death.
there might be. You see, it was attacked by orcs several months ago.
You know what? We have a half orc in the party. So I feel like he might
feel
like
like-
to see that.
I feel like that's an incredibly racist thing to say, but
he is a half orc.
right, but just because one half orc is from one clan doesn't mean he knows every other
I didn't say
orc
he
from
knows
every other
them.
clan.
I said he might like to see that.
Right.
The likelihood of him knowing them is so slim. He's from Fae. It's like so far south.
This
Why
particular
are you so
tribe,
racist, Mr. J?
this particular tribe is incredibly
Wow.
brutal and bloodthirsty.
Are you insinuating
and
that our half orc is incredibly brutal and bloodthirsty?
what I'm saying is they're a great danger to you and your friends.
You think Beauregard is a great danger? He is a gentleman. How
She just
could you?
She just puts her face in her hands.
Well, this explains why we had so much time to do all that identifying.
Yeah,
Yeah,
absolutely.
you know what? I'm gonna take this charcoal and I'm gonna take these herbs, and I'm not gonna tell Beauregard about what you just said about him.
She just sort of like calms herself. She says, "Your generosity is greatly appreciated, Lady Ophelia."
Yeah. Gonna exit. Just gonna exit.
Without paying a dime.
Correct.
Excellent.
Sorry, that's whole. That's humorous.
Sense found here. What's that?
Incense found here. It's marshes.
I don't think that's true.
Oops.
She's gonna skedaddle back to the dwarf's hovel, though.
So you make your way back to the dwarf's hovel just in time to see them finishing up their third round of identify spells.
Miracle and
Oh, you're
herbs.
back.
Listen, there's
Did
a
you get what you
problem.
needed?
No, they didn't have any incense.
Well, that's terrible.
I know. But she says there might be some at a fishing village that was recently raided by orcs. She made some questionable comments, and I decided to leave. I didn't want to be part of that.
Oh, I can appreciate that. My sister is a little bit more of a hothead than me when people make comments like that, but still, it's offensive. I get where you're coming from. So we're done now. Um, um, Orion found a trapdoor, and they found a staff and a short sword down there, some more food. So we grabbed all that. We're taking it with us. Uh, we kind of planned out the route on the map. It's conveniently counterclockwise around the map that we have right here.
Oh, I bet the fishing village is here near this lake.
I'm. Oh, look
Probably
at that!
this
There is
little
a fishing
dots of,
village over
yeah,
there. Look
yeah,
at that.
that's probably it. So we should make a little stop in there because if I can get some incense, I can summon a creature to do my bidding,
Hmm.
which I would really enjoy.
I mean, maybe when we're going through this swampy area right there, that we could find something that smells nice. You could use it for incense.
I'm not really sure what the rules are, but
I'm not
I
either, actually.
I heard there was incense in the swamp. I don't know where I heard that, but
I thought
maybe
for a
from
minute
that
I
maybe
saw that
from
on
that
the.
orb. Did it tell you that?
Oh, you missed that. Um, Noah was doing the identify thing on the orb,
Eat it.
and then he tried to kill Orion.
Oh, he, you don't have to kill people. You just could have just eaten it.
He
What'd you
he
do with
says
the
he
orb?
just kind of started the thing, and then it passed out, and we woke up and we were all angry at him.
Oh, bad.
but through the guidance and strength of Saloon, he found his way back to us.
Oh yeah, I thought that was that went without saying.
Oh, yeah.
It was just assumed, you know.
So, what'd you do with that orb?
It's in my backpack. Nobody else is touching it right now
All
because
right,
it's
all right.
kind of nasty.
Great, 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 great.
Yeah, but we found this fancy crystal staff and a little short sword. It's cute. It's cute. Maybe that little dragon could use it.
The sword.
Yeah, it's about his size.
I feel like he's small for that sword.
I mean, it's a tiny little thing. Just a big knife, really. All right, looks like we got an extra like 15 days food here, and uh, Sil uh, Sil says he has another 10 days. That's 25 days for those that don't have food. Um, Sil, why don't you ask your friend if he's coming with us, and let's get on the road.
So, can I communicate with the pseudo dragon? I don't.
I mean, so far everyone's just been talking to it, and it seems to understand them.
Okay.
So
I didn't know if it tried to do anything. In my mind, I know it was like reacting to me. So, I will picture traveling up a road and seeing if it wants to come along.
you get a return image, the same sort of like face that I described earlier, the sort of like dwarven visage, and then a just sort of a affirmative sensation.
He seems to want to come along to find his master.
Lovely.
Well, off we go then.
Before we head out, I was actually going to grab up the other hand crossbow too. Because why not?
Okay.
So you can double barrel it.
Yeah, you know.
When I
Follow
lay
the
my
yellow dirt
vengeance
blade.
upon you.
Who is taking that staff and that short sword, by the way? Who's taking what?
If someone needs to get past magical resistance, it probably would be not me who's using hand-to-hand combat. I don't know
Yeah,
if
I
Beauregard
mean,
wants something that.
Beauregard, I know that you said that it was a small, tiny knife, but if it can do extra, if it can get through, creatures that are really strong, maybe your axe can't get through, but the little sword could.
It looks like it's the right size for Noah. Why don't we give it to Noah? Noah, use these little pointy things.
Oh, I have a perfectly good whip right here.
Ugh,
Yeah, but I try to
it's
avoid
so tiny.
angles.
I'll hold on to it for now if you want.
You can open up magical letters that are resistant to your axe.
That's good.
Magical letters.
So,
Ugh. You said it's called a charged short sword?
yeah,
I'm just gonna take a normal short sword and rename it charged short sword.
yeah, that's fine. I can get you the actual like item in D&D Beyond. I just, for whatever reason, I haven't made those yet.
No worries. Like I said, I just took a short sword and labeled it charged short sword. That's it. So you know what it means, so it doesn't matter.
Yeah.
It's so tiny, and I've been focusing most of my effort on my sword. You know, my martial focus is on this sword.
Oh, and
So,
also we have this lovely staff which does blah blah blah.
It
I've
grants
got the healer's kit.
Yeah, it'll allow you to grant temporary hit points,
and a spell. It's a spell focus.
and it's a focus.
Mhm.
Playing the
And
staff.
it's a staff, not a quarterstaff.
Oh, study it that well.
Yeah,
It is
it was described as a staff at least. I don't know what Ben.
correct. It's a spellcasting focus, so it is not functionally a quarterstaff.
Yeah, it's unlikely I'll use it.
How about you, Ophelia?
no.
Wow, I really missed the mark here. I truly thought between the 4 magic casters, someone would
I've got
jump
my
at it.
bottle here that I use to cast my spells through.
Well, I have this lovely loot that I cast my spells.
But that thing gives
I'll-
temporary hit points. Does your loot?
I understand.
Does your bottle?
Well, sometimes
Listen,
I
I need my bottle. It's
Hey,
part of me.
I'm happy to give people temporary hit points. That's part of my job.
All right. Well,
I'll take it.
it's all you.
All right. Excellent. So, items in hand, food in hand, route planned out. You guys doing anything else before you set out from Gladeview to begin to explore the valley?
Think I have everything I need.
Yeah, I'm ready.
Let's go.
Okay.
Maybe I can find something to hit.
Speaking of hitting things,
Woohoo!
what time are we looking at wrapping up tonight?
What time are we looking at wrapping up tonight? Is the question to you.
I don't know. If we were going for another hour, I would be that's fine. But if we had say 15 to 30 minutes left,
I
I
mean,
might.
I
I
think
think
we're going for
ideally
another
for me
hour.
would be like 6:30 to 9:30
Mhm.
would be like an ideal 3-hour kind of range.
yeah, that's fine. For me
If
too.
that's too late though,
You're the DM.
Okay.
right,
So
exactly.
so about time zones are hard. So about
An
another
hour and 15.
hour. Okay.
Yeah.
Yeah. We can do that. That's plenty of time.
Okay.
I was just trying to, judge timing for potential encounters and all that.
Judge Judy it.
Cool. So, moving on, you guys move your way south to the gates of Gladeview, stepping out on the sort of singular plain dirt path that winds its way further south. You are rapidly able to find the westerly path that eventually wraps back north around the town. Is there anything you guys want to do while you travel?
I'm a few tunes, maybe work on my new song.
Okay.
Uh, uh, keep an eye out for small game, perhaps to supplement the rest of our foodstuffs.
Look for wildflowers that could be used for incense.
Yeah, make a perception check, Ophelia.
Oh, look, I got a +2 to this one. That's not as horrible as I thought. Oh,
19.
I'm
There you go.
scouring the
As
countryside.
as you travel, you find that the land sort of lowers. It sort of dips in elevation. You find yourself making your way into these swampy lowlands, dotted with occasional lakes and sort of marshy grass and very sort of wet, boggy area. And early in your journey, only a few hours of travel in, you find a vast field of these poppies that could probably be used for incense.
Woohoo, opium!
Every poppy and burn it like an opium field.
So 16 days later, uh, no. Realistically, how much time do you want to spend picking flowers here?
Like as much time as the group would tolerate.
Well, I'll
1
help.
hour.
1 hour. Yeah, if you help me,
We'll
then we can
help
gather
and
up tons and tons of
Yeah.
poppies.
gather as much as you need.
Yeah.
You said you need this for a spell?
Yeah.
2 hours later.
So I think I'll help you out, and I'll take my greatsword and just use it like a reaper, going through the poppy fields.
This might be
Yeah.
offensive to Sybil. Like maybe we should be more respectful to the plants.
Oh no, you can harvest plants; they'll regrow.
Right.
I have an herbalism kit if that's any help making incense and getting this over with.
I will say let's make a group. I'll say either survival or nature, whichever one appeals to you more. Everyone make one of those checks.
Survival or nature?
My roll will be at a +2 if it shows. I don't know, but let's
Oof.
see.
Oh,
13.
finally, it won.
I mean, it was at a -1 or at a
Wow.
+0.
You guys did pretty well.
So I see a 10, an 11, a 24.
And an 18 from Noah. And
And
mine
18.
should have been a 13, but I don't see that.
I
Yours
see an
is
11 for
11.
you.
Yeah,
Oh,
mine 11
yeah, it
plus
was a
2.
+2. Okay,
Yeah.
yeah, that's.
Oh, Orion's just doing
So-
that custom roll thing too, huh? Or just
You're
Well, I
muted.
believe that was guidance.
You're
Yeah,
muted,
you're
Dustin.
still muted.
I got up to a 12 with guidance, thanks to the help of my patron god.
It's an average of 15.6.
Not horrible. We're all right.
Not bad.
Yeah. You guys are able to collect, I will say, over the course of an hour, about 30 gold worth of incense.
Oh my gosh.
That's enough. All right.
Hey, I was right. There was incense found there.
All right then. Let's get back on the trail. Do you got what
Now
you
I
need
just
now,
need 10
Ophelia?
minutes. Now I just need 10 minutes.
Well, we'll when we camp for the night, you can take your 10 minutes
Oh
then.
my
Let's
God.
get back up on the road.
The new goal of this campaign is to make sure she never gets to cast Find Familiar.
Yeah, there's nothing like being a Pact of the Chain Warlock that can't cast Find Familiar. Oh God. Well, let's stop for our midday meal. You can cast it then. How's that?
So you guys continue on through the swamps. Anything else you guys want to do while you travel here through the swampy lands?
When we break for lunch, we're gonna have Ophelia cast her spell.
Okay, Ophelia, you can cast your
Find
spell.
familiar?
Welcome to goddesses, a new consciousness.
You hear that?
Lunatic goddesses.
Barely.
Mm-hmm.
I would like to summon an imp.
There is too much confusion and pain in the world.
What am I listening to?
I don't know. I thought you did that on purpose. Like that was my ritual
Oh
casting.
no, is that?
Not okay.
Is that
Oh,
Hydra?
is this Hydra?
Yeah.
Hold on.
It's kind of funny that it started chanting right as she
Yeah.
says she's
Like
gonna
I
do it.
assumed that was
Why?
just like some hardcore audio right there.
No, that is
We were
that
really
is
impressed.
Hydra freaking out about something. Sometimes it does this, but it's never done it like that. Sometimes it just plays the wrong song. But this was the right song overlaid with something else. And I am very confused. All right, back to the spooky music, I guess.
I mean, I was tempted to do the pseudo dragon, but just have like a pseudo dragon off.
Yeah.
All right.
All right. Anyway, now that that's over with, oh wait, I do have spell effect noises though. So as you sort of cast the spell, you sort of sit down during the midday meal and sort of like swirl your arms, sort of making the incantations, uttering the proper utterances over the course of 10 minutes. There's this sort of like bright red flash of energy as this tiny little red creature appears, this little just sort of goblin thing, spiky horns, long tail, two little wings,
Damn.
and it sort of
Adorable.
it looks up and goes,
Oh man, not again. What do you want?
I would like you to be my bosom companion.
What's that mean?
It means you can ride on my shoulder and turn invisible, and I will cast spells through you and use you to spy on things. It's gonna be fantastic. You can also probably eat some mushrooms off of that guy.
I offer him a mushroom.
the imp glances at Syl and sort of takes it, just sort of confused, just
Yeah,
looking
It's
around.
gonna be so good. It's gonna be great.
Okay. I guess.
So excited to meet you.
Well, okay, yeah. What's your name?
Ophelia, what's your name?
Philip.
That means lover of horses, and it's a traditional root word. Would you be interested in
Nerd.
trying to wear? Would you be interested in trying to ride this pseudo dragon like a horse?
No.
Oh, that's too bad. I have to admit that was part of my hope in summoning you as an imp. How do you feel about hats?
The imp looks very reluctant to reply.
They're fine, I guess.
All right. Goal number 2 is finding you a hat. Can finish up
Where-
lunch. We're ready to go.
Where are we?
Oh, I don't know. We're in this valley. We're looking
What
for
are we
some
doing?
monsters. Maybe find a dwarf. I'm not really sure. Really what I'm here for is to earn some cash. So I don't know how you feel about that.
Ooh,
But
I know
yeah.
that. I know about that.
yeah,
Money.
that's really
Yeah.
what I'm here for. And the
We
rest
should
just
scam some poor people.
I don't feel like we'd get much out of scamming poor people if you wanted to
Right,
scam
no,
rich.
but I mean like the disenfranchised. Right?
Why would
Like
we
the
s-
disabled, the elderly, the infirm.
Again, I think you're looking at really low targets. You gotta raise that up. You're not gonna get a lot out of them.
But I guess.
Yeah.
But, okay, well, I'm sure we'll have time to talk about this, seeing as
Some
I'm
big prize.
now in your service.
Yeah, it's gonna be so good.
Okay, well, I'm just gonna hang out on the shoulder.
Yeah, you can be invisible if you want.
It begins
And
to like sort of like climb up, like not even using its wings, it just sort of grabs onto your robe and starts
Yeah.
pulling up, just
Yeah,
climbing up onto your shoulder, hand over hand before plopping itself, and then turning invisible.
there, guys. You can't see him.
Right. So, this trail's not gonna walk itself, so
If you want, Philip can fly ahead and scout for us.
if you want.
Philip, why don't you scout from the air?
I am physically incapable of disobeying that command.
You hear the little wings just sort of flutter as the weight is lifted off of your shoulder.
He's so sweet. I really have a good feeling about this. He seems like a team player.
Do you have a stat block for good old Philip here?
I do. I have Imp familiar variant in my
Excellent.
extras. Yeah.
Have Philip make a perception check, please.
Ooh, okay. Let's see. His perception check doesn't have perception, so I guess just wisdom.
Mm-hmm.
Yep.
Doesn't see a lot. He's not that great.
Was that the 10 you just rolled?
Yeah, +1, so it was 11 total.
Okay. Then there is a telepathic component to Back to the Chain, right?
Yeah. I can talk to
How
him
far?
for
Like a mile or something.
Anywhere on this plane.
Is that what it is? I don't
Oh, really? Yeah.
see it.
It's I remember it being nuts.
Okay, yeah.
So after a few minutes, you hear kind of in the back of your mind.
Reeds. Oh, a tree. Nope, it's dead. More reeds. A little pond of water there. Reeds, more reeds. Oh, there's a little family of ducks. Isn't that nice?
Ducks. You like to eat ducks, don't you, Beauregard?
Delicious.
You can eat
there
all the ducks
doesn't
you want.
really appear to be anything out in this swamp that
Looks good, guys. It's
Philip
clear.
sees.
It's clear out there. There's ducks. Let's get out. Let's get cracking.
So, after several hours of travel, as the day wears on and the sun begins to dip lower and lower, you guys are still not quite through all of the sort of the swampland here, but you're nearing the far side. But it's getting about to be the time where you feel you should probably start setting up camp. Is there any particular thing you guys want to do at camp, or watches and or their order that you'd like to take?
You know, we should set a watch.
That's unnecessary. I can keep watch all night.
All night long.
Well,
Well, that's great. I'm just gonna set up a little sleeping area over here then. Good night, guys.
I'm gonna take the first couple hours and run through my sword forms and get ready for bed. I have to train as well. I'm on a quest to become the best swordsman that's ever lived. So really, I'll take first watch and then let Celia take the rest of it. I'm sorry, Syl take the rest of it, but I'll just be kind of working with the sword and my shirt off, glistening with sweat.
Whenever the moon is highest.
I will start writing a song of your world champion swordsmanship.
Yeah. Ophelia's just
Alright,
gonna try to
alright,
pack stuff
alright.
over her ears so she can drown them all out.
All right, all right, all right.
The anywhere on this plane is actually a warlock invocation. What do they
Invocation.
call it?
I don't have that yet.
Yeah, so I think it's
So
100
I think
feet.
Oh,
yeah, I
So
think
then
it's
it would
like
be just standard until you take that.
yeah,
okay. Good to know. Good to know.
100 feet. Yeah.
Well, regardless, he didn't see Jack, so you guys spend some time setting up camp. So you get a. Do you guys have a fire? Do you set up a flame?
Oh,
Yeah, sure. Uh, unless anybody's got something against it.
Nope, that's fine.
Oh,
Not that bright on hanging out in the wilderness. Go for it.
well, my only concern was that there's more of those winged creatures, and they, come out at night.
mostly.
They only come out at night.
It seems that
Are
way.
they man-eater?
I mean, technically, I think they are.
They
Yes.
wanna come out at night. Sorry.
So, anyways, my point being, maybe if it's warm enough, we shouldn't broadcast our position.
Oh, that makes some good sense.
Thank you. I like to think about things before I jump in.
Oh, I've never tried that.
Clearly, I'll help you out.
Well, good.
I can think enough for the both of us.
Excellent.
I think the great bards Hall and Oates once warned us against such actions.
They were my mentors.
Lovely. Well, I guess no fire then.
You know what, you guys? Just yell if you need me, and then she's just going to turn into smoke and go right into her bottle, which will flop onto the ground to where she was.
Well, that's new.
It's very comfortable in there. Looks like this.
Oops.
I assume this is the first time you've done that.
Yeah, probably.
Well, that's new.
Yeah, that's pretty strange.
Take the top of her bottle shut.
You don't have tape.
I like that he thought of that though. That's hilarious.
All right. Well, I'm turning in then.
All right then. I'm gonna do my little dances.
Okay, so you guys have some dinner, turn in for the night, and as the moon begins to rise and the sun has vanished from the night sky, Syl, are you taking responsibility for the entire night's worth of watches?
Yeah, I mean, if anyone wants to stay up a little bit, they can. I can't see in the dark, so if we don't have a fire, I will just be like alert and I can hear.
I can let you see in the dark.
Okay, well then now I can see in the dark.
How
Thanks to
long does that
Orion.
effect last?
Lasting 1 hour.
Oh,
So you're gonna wake up every hour and cast that on him again? How about this? Why don't you take the first watch, Syl, and then I'll come up for
I'll
the
stay
second.
up. I'll stay up through the middle of the night with the moon.
I can take one of the night watches as well. But you can keep me company, so.
Yeah, I will technically be alert. I can't talk for 6 of those hours, but
Right. So
then.
I will say that if you guys each stay up for one watch, Syl can grant you advantage on your check to keep watch because he is also there.
Perfect.
So,
Cool.
Beauregard, you were the first volunteer,
Mhm.
so you can make a perception check at advantage.
I also like to think that Syl keeps like a log of everything people say to him while he's inactive and then replies to all of it when he resumes activity.
I rolled two
Just like a
ones.
Oh my
What?
god.
What?
Wow.
Really focused on your sword form.
Look at the.
Very focused on the sword form.
Wow.
And his own muscles,
I mean,
apparently.
that
yeah, he's
is.
like, man, these abs are looking good.
Putting Eddie rolled 2 ones in my calendar so I remember it forever.
I'm posting it in Twitch right now. I don't have crit fail. I only have critical hit.
Wow.
Yeah, that's the
Like
worst
making
ever.
gains.
So Beauregard props himself up against a stump of some sort of old tree and immediately falls asleep. It's like still. I mean, you're aware as you're sort of going into shutdown mode, and it's like within seconds he's just sawing logs, just snoring as loud as can be. It's kind of embarrassing.
Wow.
But
That's the worst. Literally,
I'd
it doesn't
like-
get worse. Oh my
no,
god.
it really doesn't. I want. Actually, now I'd like Syl to make a perception check.
Do it,
Seeing
Syl.
as how you are now the only one awake.
It's a 9, but my passive is 15.
Okay, but you're also immobile. You can't move
Okay.
while you're doing this. So, I mean, I'll keep the passive in mind for hearing. But in terms of sight and other sounds, or other senses, it's going to be difficult to perceive while you're just. Are you standing or laying? I always envisioned Warforged just like going chin to chest and just remaining standing.
Yeah,
but
it's probably like kneeling down, sort of like in a meditative state.
okay. You hear a sound. It's this sort of like crunching of gravel.
That's me snoring.
Yeah, it happens. It happens just like a couple of times in rapid succession. Do you break your?
Yeah, I would go
Okay.
and try to wake up Beauregard.
Well, when you sort of like raise your head and glance around, you see Ophelia's bottle is slowly floating away from camp.
Oh, okay. Slowly, I will go try to retrieve it.
Okay. So you get up. It's dark. It's quiet. You stroll over to the bottle. You grab it, and there's like this light resistance.
Hey, fuck off.
I, I'm gonna yell to Beauregard because something is wrong with this little imp.
So you sort of nudge Beauregard, who
What?
yeah, startles awake.
Ophelia's familiar is trying to steal Ophelia, I believe.
No, you've got it all wrong. Don't wake anybody up.
What?
Go back to sleep, old man.
Who called me an old man? What the hell's going on here? I'm getting louder.
Quiet.
Are you trying to wake up everyone?
Yeah,
Okay.
including Ophelia. I don't know if she can hear inside the bottle.
Right.
but-
She can hear.
Yeah, I posted it in the Discord chat, so
Oh.
I can. If she can be woken up. I assume she was sleeping in there, but yeah.
Everyone who is asleep, make a perception check at disadvantage.
Oh yeah.
Is there a special button for that? Or you just
Yeah,
right-click?
control.
Right click the control.
Right.
huh?
No, control is for.
Oh, gotcha. I can right click.
Yeah, you have to
Right
right
click?
click it. Right click the number, the -1, +1, whatever, and
Yeah.
a little menu comes up, and you can roll with advantage or disadvantage.
Oh,
Orion rolled a 22.
Holy crap!
And a
I have a
12.
+2 to that, and I rolled an 18 at disadvantage. I mean, yeah, an 18 with the +2.
Wow.
Wow, that's really good.
Yeah.
With disadvantage, I had a 12.
Okay. You
And my
all
passive
wake
is
up.
20, but
you all wake up to see Bo and Syl gathered around a floating bottle. Ophelia, you of course, bathed in the luxury of the interior of your bottle, can only hear what's going on, but you hear like the light conversation, and you hear the imp going, shh, 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 quiet, quiet. Are you coming out of the bottle, or are you standing there?
No, she'll come out.
And you just sort of pop out of the bottle, and the imp's just like, damn it.
Well, how
What are you guys doing?
disappointing. You know, you could have slept inside the bottle too. I guess I'm going to have to banish you now.
Oh, hold on. Oh, wait. It was just a prank, okay?
All
Okay,
right,
bro?
I can summon up a different familiar who will want to stay inside my bottle.
Wait. You're just gonna send me back to the hells?
I mean, why would I not?
Oh, that's almost vastly preferable to this slavery. Oh, yeah, sure. Go for it.
Are
Guess
you
I'll just
gonna
miss
do
my
that?
familiar, yeah.
Oh, okay. The reverse psychology didn't work. The imp, who is still
Gotta get
invisible,
ready to do it. I
has
don't know
this
how
like
you do it.
you could just dismiss. I
Yeah.
think you can dismiss it as like an action or something.
Yeah, she's just gonna start counting out to make sure she has enough to perform the
No, but I
ritual
think
again.
it's still there. You can still summon it back. You
Yeah,
just
it just
dismiss it.
dismisses them to a pocket dimension or
Oh,
something.
you're shunting it into the pocket dimension.
Yeah.
Okay. I thought you were like ending the spell.
No,
like,
I mean I might do
getting
that,
rid of
but
the imp.
until if I have enough poppies to bring it back.
Yeah.
But like
Oh,
she's
okay.
counting out
Right,
her
right.
poppies to see if she's
Right.
got enough to do it again.
Then the imp has simply vastly misunderstood what you are saying it's going to do. And you can't see the smug look on its face, but it vanishes all the same. There's just a little pop that as the bottle, which is still just floating, just clatters to the ground.
Yeah. Sorry about that. I guess I got tuckered out. Sorry.
It's normally okay. First time Ophelia has been stolen.
Probably it's actually not the first time. It's happened before. Story for another time.
All right.
Are you?
That was fun. I'm going back to sleep.
Now I can't go back into the bottle till I've rested.
Oof.
Now I have to sleep out here.
Well, that was disappointing. Phil seemed so nice.
He did. He really did seem nice.
I don't.
He
I
liked
don't.
ducks.
I don't think he did. He was kind of nasty. I mean, he's an imp.
I mean, he's not actually an imp. He's just a familiar spirit that took the form of an imp. But
But I mean, imp's got a imp, right?
so,
All right then. And I guess you got the rest of this watch then, Sai? Syl, sorry.
Yes,
Keep
I
saying it
will
wrong.
finish the watch.
Excellent, lovely. And I just kind of
Okay.
right back.
I'll start the second watch.
Yeah, make a perception check at advantage, Orion.
Oh.
In the night, you see among the swamps these sort of like the flickers of colored light, red, blue, green, yellow, purple, just various sort of like flashes, just puffs, almost like little fireflies. But you can tell that they're not just fireflies that are remotely nearby. These are distant, sort of like puffs of light, perhaps erupting swamp gas. But why they're so colored, it's hard to tell. And nothing bothers you during this watch. Just you see this sort of strange light show in the distance.
Only by Saloon's light can such magic be seen.
Third watch. Who's on third?
Take third. I have to take third.
Yeah, make a perception check at advantage.
Good.
Yeah. Noah, you are sort of reeling from that encounter with whatever that orb was. And you feel throughout the night, this doesn't have any real effect, but you feel this sort of like beckoning, as if the orb is calling out to you, as if it wants you to pick it up again. You don't feel compelled to do so, but you feel as though it is sort of trying to draw you to it. It's a sort of slimy, eerie sensation throughout the evening.
Keep looking over at Beauregard, who's holding it, I believe. His bag.
He's got it in his backpack.
Yeah, just kind of keep looking over there, like, Kind of scoot over a little bit.
Okay, but you're just gonna leave it be.
Yeah, I won't bother anybody about it. I'll tell them about it in the morning.
Okay. Then, yeah, the night passes uneventfully otherwise, and you guys can all take a long rest and awaken in the morning.
Refreshed. Get my 1 hit point back.
Oh yeah, I guess I should hit the long rest button, huh?
Yeah.
And I lose all of
Got
my
stung
temporary
by
hit
a
points
pseudo
too.
dragon.
Do we lose our temporary hit points?
Yeah,
I believe so, yeah.
Probably.
I'll tell everybody how I felt that compulsion to kind of grab the orb.
Well, it probably wants you to eat it.
Eat me!
Maybe I should hold on to it, Beauregard, just in case.
You know, wasn't it Orion did some priestly stuff to stop that thing from taking control of you last time, right?
Yeah, maybe.
So maybe before we get started today, maybe we just why don't you try to identify it again, and if Orion needs to, he can break that. Can you break that stuff out again, Orion?
Every day, Saloon grants me the strength to break such horrid fixations.
Well, is that a yes? You use big words,
yeah.
man. I'm sorry, I can't rightly
Yep.
follow.
I'll go with yes then.
Alrighty then.
But as an aside, do I have enough? Oh, I do have enough poppies because you said I got about 30 gold worth. So now I'm going to resummon a new familiar spirit in the form of a pseudo dragon, which will bring me down to 10 gold pieces worth of insight.
Oh, you're gonna get rid of Philip?
Yeah, listen. He tried to steal my bottle.
Can I tell you what he was gonna do?
Yeah, that'd be
Yeah.
hilarious.
He was just gonna put you in a nearby like swamp pond, so when you came out of it,
I'd get
you'd
dirty.
be like, yeah, you'd be standing
Disgusting.
in water.
Sorry, Philip.
I mean,
One
it's
strike and you're out.
it's an imp. He's rambunctious.
He's
What
an
you
imp.
gonna
That's what
do?
Imp's got an imp, right?
So,
Imp's got a
you
imp.
you snuff out Philip's short-lived service
Hmm.
in favor for a new creature. Do you summon any particular flavor of pseudo dragon?
I don't know. Do I get a choice?
Well, I mean, they can be different colors, right?
It's a lot. It's a lot. It's
I
a lot.
mean, it says a pseudo dragon resembles a tiny red dragon.
I mean, if
so
it can
I
be
suppose-
any color, yeah.
I suppose
But-
they don't
Okay.
come in flavors, but I mean, I'll let you customize it a little bit if you want.
I feel like he should be glittery and blue and silver, like the inside of the bottle.
Sure. Yeah, he's sort of got these the appearance
Or
of these
she. I don't want to assume.
I mean, this creature probably does not have a gender,
They.
but they probably have sort of like gem-studded wings that sort of
Yeah.
like glisten and
nice.
glitter in the sunlight, and have this sort of like translucent silvery skin. And the other pseudo dragon, which curled up with sort of around Sill's leg or at his feet, is just sort of tail up, wings out, just like what the hell.
What?
And it's, I don't know, perturbed by this thing's presence, but not openly hostile.
Listen, just because this pseudo dragon is prettier, you don't have to feel sad.
It just sort of backs up.
Right. Okay then. Well, do we want to try having you identify this orb then?
Sure, let me have it. Give it to me. I want to touch it.
That's disturbing.
I don't feel good about this. I feel like maybe somebody should stand real close to him while he does this.
Here.
I will give you guidance in your thing. I don't know that that's going to help a saving throw or whatever, but
All right, here you go, and I'll dump out the bag and into his hand, so he can grab that orb, because I won't touch it.
The orb clatters into your hand.
I can give you. I can bless you to give you saving throw benefits. How about that? Is that right? We'll do that.
And you know the drill, Noah. Make me an intelligence save, and you can add a D4 to the roll. Are you blessing anyone else other than Noah, Orion?
Yeah, we'll bless Beauregard and Ophelia as well. I get 3. Yeah.
So a 17 on that save. Would you like to add that D4?
Yeah, I'm trying to. It looks like.
Lower left-hand corner.
Whoops.
Oh yeah, look at that. Oh, that's awesome.
There we go. 4. Swing.
Okay, you successfully shrug off the sort of tingly sensation. You hear no ominous voice and are not further affected by this device. And
Win.
What?
I said we win.
Oh, okay. I understand.
Just one D&D.
We just won D&D.
That's it.
That's
The
it.
game's over. Then wrap it up. Noah, so you're casting Identify again?
Yes.
All right. This is it's not a traditional magic item in the sense of like that staff or the blade. This is basically the receiving end of a permanent scrying spell.
Creepy.
There is something that's watching you from this object, or is capable of watching you from this object. That is from somewhere else. You're not sure, but it is the receiving end of some sort of scrying spell. It would be a scrying sensor, if you would. And
Okay.
it's pretty icky. It's a bad time. You get some seriously evil and not great vibes from it.
All right, I will relay that to everyone. Perhaps we should wrap it tighter and deeper in the bag. Or maybe we should just bury it here in the swamp. Go about our business.
Bury.
I feel like we shouldn't bury it. I feel like it's probably something that maybe we need to destroy something.
Well, we certainly should keep it under tight wraps and stop handling it. I don't know if that would prevent something from scrying us. I don't know much about scrying.
Mount Doom.
I definitely feel like if we wrap it up, you can't see through it because you can't see through like the cloak.
Well, you can't see through a rock either, and yet that seems to be what he's doing.
Right then. Let's wrap this up and throw it back in the bag. If it's maybe we can find a way to get rid of it somewhere. Find a nice cistern to throw it into or something. What y'all think? Yeah. Wrap us back up.
Wrap it up.
Well, there we go. Wrapping that right back up. Putting that back in the bag.
Okay.
All right.
All
So
right,
you wrap the orb back up, put it back in, and I presume pick up camp.
Yep.
Yeah.
All right. I'm going to try the peaceful playlist again, and if we get weird sound clips, and I did some research while you guys were talking there, and I figured out why it is. I'll tell you the specifics later, but the long and short of it is it's not actually getting the music from Spotify.
Oh.
Yeah, it's weird. But anyway, moving on, you guys, over the course of this second day, exit the lowlands, traveling further north through a sort of a hilly, rocky valley within the valley, before coming across a crossroads, which is of particular note because of the mysterious monument that stands. It's doing it again.
Yeah.
I assume that's
Right,
the monument
well-
talking to us now.
Yeah. Well, I can just skip the song, it looks like. That was weird. Okay.
I had in my notes there was a monument. A monolith in the valley.
Yes. Although this is not so much a monolith as it is something else. It appears to be a large tentacle. It's made of brass and stone. It sits between the two roads. It's not intimidating in and of itself, but there's a sort of a primal fear that presents itself when you see it. You see that it rises out of the ground, bending and withering until it reaches its peak at about 40 feet high, where at the top, amid a small loop, is a glowing purple gemstone that pulses in the sky. When you look directly at the gemstone, the horizon seems to bend away and the sky turns black. However, as soon as you avert your gaze, the illusion is gone. Nothing else stands beside this particular monument. The ground is withered, the grass is dead. There's no life here. It is barren and devoid of anima, if you would. It is strange, vaguely intimidating, and definitely eerie.
Wow. Let's not touch that thing.
Well, that dog won't hunt.
Can I
don't
make
like
a
this.
religion check that would illuminate that?
Yeah, go for it.
Nice. It's a good religion check.
You are firmly certain that you do not know what this is, and that if it venerates some sort of entity or god, it is not one that is common or widely known.
I don't want to stay here. That thing is creeping me out. Gives me the heebie-jeebies.
Shall we head off to the west then?
Yep.
Mm-hmm.
All right.
where are we going?
So you guys are taking the left path to the
Yes.
west. Okay. Cool. So opting to just nope out of there. You guys take the leftmost path.
I don't deal well with creepy stuff.
You don't, or Beauregard doesn't?
Beauregard doesn't.
Okay.
I mean, he comes from an undead plantation, and that's even out there for him.
Right on. Ahead of you, again, the day is now been pretty uneventful. The day is getting late, though it's not quite at the end of the day. But ahead of you, basking in the setting sun, are two immense statues that rise out of the mountain. They both depict dwarven figures clad in armor, wielding what appear to be pole arms of some sort. A large shield, one of them round, one of them square, in front of each of them. And they both hold the pole arm, one on the left, one on the right side. And the pole arms sort of flank this immense stone door that is carved into the mountainside. However, as you're seeing this in the distance, you also come to a meandering dirt path that leads off the main road that winds to the south up into some rocky hills. There's no signs or indication of what might be down this path, but you guys do have a map, and based on what you can see on the map, it looks like that leads to one of the marked ruins that the archaeologist, Mr. Grindle, managed to jot down.
Should we just keep going to these sites, or do we want to explore this dwarven enclave first?
I'm sure if we go in that dwarven enclave, it's gonna smell like dwarves. I'd rather just take this path to our known destination. But it's up to you.
I'd rather go to the marked spot on the map.
Yeah.
Yes, I agree. We should expedite our quest.
All right.
Lovely.
Okay. So opting to take the direct route, travel south through the meandering path, you eventually make your way a little more vertical in elevation. It rises upwards as you get closer and closer to the Silver Spar Mountains, which now tower high above you, these gray sort of towers and peaks jutting into the sky. And it's at this point, right as the sun is about to hit the horizon, and you come to this deep, narrow canyon that winds very gently to the left. So about 300 to 400 feet in front of you, it's just sort of like curving out of sight, and you can't quite see what's on the other end of this canyon or how long it goes. But in addition to the nearly vertical sort of like red and gray walls, there is this fog, this sort of mist that roils through this canyon, just sort of slowly billowing by some unseen source. There's no real wind here. It's unnaturally still, but the fog and mist sort of moves on its own. Just this eerie sort of swirling here in this canyon.
Oh, this is creepy.
It's like one creepy thing after another.
Oh, so we're going?
Yeah, I mean, we gotta find this this dwarf for the little insect dragon, right?
Sure.
So you guys begin to just move forward openly?
On the trail, yeah. I mean, the mist is hiding everything, right? So let's just kind of follow the trail.
Yeah. Moving forward, you plunge yourself into the the depths of this fog, and you find it very difficult to see much of anything in front of you. Even your companions, only a few paces away, are but distant and dim figures that sort of haunt the nearby locale. Orion and Syl, you guys would see a flicker of light in the distance. Just this sort of like this zip of yellow energy through the fog. Just this like this rushing motion that is gone as quickly as it appeared, but then you see it again, moving this time in a different direction. And it's as if some source of light is zipping around the fog in this canyon just out of sight of you.
I would relate that to the companions. Stay close. Looks like there's something out there.
I will draw my sword.
Okay. You unsheath the big one or the small
The
one?
great sword.
Of course. Why would it be anything else?
Right.
You unsheath your blade. Just as this sort of like this light source comes looming in close, this sort of it's got this sort of jittery sort of zigzag pattern as it hovers several feet off the ground. And it swings probably within say 15 feet of you, Beauregard.
Mm-hmm.
Actually, who's at the front?
Beauregard.
Beauregard, okay. That's why I said Beauregard, but
Yeah.
I didn't want to assume. And it's a little zaps you a little bit with a short jolt of electricity. That is a 16 to hit.
16 hits.
Yeah. And you take math damage.
Not.
Oh boy. Oh god. You take 14 lightning damage.
Wow. You're like it shocks you, zaps you a little bit. I'm like, what?
I just happened to roll really high, and I'm sorry. Let's roll initiative, folks.
Owie.
Squeeze some combat in here. Yeah, holy crap. I didn't, whew.
Gee.
Let me do this. And we're gonna get a blank table here in a minute. Grid. So it's just gonna be drawn today.
That's good.
But you guys are in this narrow pass that, like I said, it sort of curves to the left just a little bit. And so you guys are sort of like in here in this pass, with everything else being more or less
I don't know
just
how to
like
bring my
straight
down.
rock wall. Your minis are all down here.
Oh, look at that.
Oh, I grabbed
You
everything.
should have all your names.
So we're like here?
Yeah, that's good enough. Yeah, combat setup is always the slowest part of this, and I do apologize.
We got it. You're doing great.
Where are our minis? I don't see them.
They're all the way down.
Right where you're sitting,
I see
actually,
them.
where your
Yeah,
name
I
is.
see them.
Noah didn't. Oh, there's Noah. Noah got picked up now.
Mother.
Oh.
I'm just wandering all around the map. It's whatever.
Okay, so initiative is again on the side of the table here. So please take your roll and translate it to whatever is
What
on.
color am I?
I couldn't
You
find
are.
white, so I just used a random color.
Yeah, you can use any color, and you can also change the color of your token. You can right click on it and
Yeah, you
change the
can.
color tint.
Nice.
Oh boy. Wayne, I'm going to presume that you have less than a +9 to your dex, so
Yes.
it's going to go first because you guys both tied for initiative. So I will say that's what was its first turn, as it sort of swings in and zaps Beauregard from
So it's the green thing?
There are two of them. There's a yellow one in the back and
okay.
the green one up front. And they are very small, just like orbs of floating light. And so, Noah, you are going to be the first to react. What are you doing?
So I can see this little orb thing?
Yep.
What of it? All right. I will. Let's see. These are 5-foot squares, I see.
Yes.
All right. I will just kind of walk over to here and attempt vicious mockery. I'm not sure how you mock a little lightning ball, but I'm gonna try it anyway.
Your mother was a Christmas tree light.
For it gets, I believe, a Wisdom 13. So
11.
right.
So
So
it
it takes
fails.
4 damage and gets disadvantage on its next attack roll.
What kind of damage?
Psychic.
And does it have to understand the language you're speaking or just hear you?
Just hear me.
Okay. So you shout out some insult at the sort of flare of energy, and it dims a little bit.
Oh, you hurt its feelings.
Anything else, Noah?
Yeah, as a bonus action, I will use one of my bardic inspiration spots, but I will use it with my Mantle of Inspiration, which grants 5 temporary hit points to 3 creatures. So I will give it to the 3. Well, I'll give 1 to Beauregard since he's the up front guy.
I get
One.
1 hit point or 5?
5
What?
temporary.
5 temporary hit points. Nice.
1 to Syl because he's up front, and 1 to Orion because he's up front. So sorry, you're back here with me. And additionally, you guys can move using your reaction, and you don't provoke opportunity attacks.
You can move up to your speed.
Yes.
Oh, nice.
So if you guys would like to do that, you can do that now.
So we can move now. We don't have to wait
Yeah.
till our turn.
Yeah, it says
Right.
immediately.
That's a reaction.
It's a reaction. You can move up to your speed without incurring attacks of opportunity. So yeah, you bust out your Mantle of Inspiration, granting your allies sort of like a boon of speed as they rush forward. And Big Bad Bo, you are You are next in initiative order.
All right, Big Bad Bo is going to use his great sword on this little tiny ball.
Mm-hmm.
Let's see. Does a 13 hit?
It does not. The
Oh.
ball just darts to the side, and you whiff.
That's the damage I don't do. Just saying. All right, so I would like to bonus action rage.
So
I
you
would like to
you
rage.
you focus in on that stance, the swordsman's focus as you begin to sort of track this thing's movement. End of turn.
End of turn.
Ophelia.
Shockingly, is the creature flying?
As best as you can tell, it appears to be hovering. So it's kind of flying.
I'm not gonna. I was just thinking if I could apply Earthlight to it, but I think that would be kind of a waste in this situation. So shockingly, I'm going to Eldridge Blast.
Whoa.
Yeah. So I
Back
crit
up
it.
there. Eldritch Blast.
Yeah.
You're fine.
With a crit.
Ooh!
So that's 2d10, right? Plus 3. Plus I'm going to do the 2 extra damage for the Efreet. 2d10. Oh, that's a 100. I don't want that. 2d10.
Did I lose my log? Oh no, okay, I see it now. The roll stopped showing up for me. It's fine. I see it though. Go for it.
Get 1.
That's
So
one.
that's 1, but I won't. For some reason, I'm going down into this thing and it's pressing the button. Oh yeah, okay, to everyone. I see. So that's 9. Plus 3 is 12. Plus 2 is 14.
Okay. So the bolt of force blasts out, and as it's sort of zipping away from Beauregard's attack, you lead the creature, and it blasts this thing. Its light dims significantly as it's now like flickering, trying to remain despite its sort of incorporeal form. And you feel as though you've done a number to this
I feel good.
creature.
I feel good
Yeah.
about that. That's how she shoots her Eldritch Blast too.
Orion. Unless you were doing other things, Ophelia.
Just that one thing.
Okay.
All
And
the
Orion.
time.
I feel like we've got this little guy outnumbered, but boy, he did a number on
Beauregard.
Beauregard. So for and that wasn't a saving throw. That was
Attack.
just an attack roll. If only the other guy was a little closer. I'm just gonna do a sacred flame on the will-o-wisp there, which is a Dex 13 save.
Yeah, it's a 16 in total.
Okay. And yeah, that is it for now.
Okay. So you sort of like lash out with the this sort of binding flame of moonlight that it just narrowly zips out of the way of, bringing us to Syl.
All right, I'm going to use my bonus action to cast Shillelagh and use my action to shape into symbiotic entity mode.
Okay, so the spores and the different sort of particles begin emanating from you and sort of swirling around you as the staff thickens and grows thorns and spikes, and you now have a very, very spiky weapon. Are you moving at all?
No, I am staying put for right now. Actually, I will move up 1, but I'm staying there.
Okay. Then at the top of the round, the one in the back is going to move up, and it will attack good old Syl here.
Are they on the same
for
initiative?
They are.
Okay, I'm going to use my reaction to damage the green one.
Okay.
So
And how
2d4.
does that work? It just damage?
Yeah, it is 2d4 necrotic. For 5.
The green one puffs out. And the yellow one is going to zap you for a 21 to hit.
That'll hit.
For 10 lightning damage.
Oof, okay.
Yeah, they don't tickle.
And then it is going to move through you.
Oh my god, that's so rude.
What?
And end up behind Ophelia and Noah here. Then Noah, you're up.
Right. So now I would have to disengage if I'm going to leave, right? Or take an opportunity attack, is that right?
Yes. It can make an attack of opportunity if you move away from it without using the disengage action.
Shoot. That stinks. Bonus action. All right. Well, I can do a cantrip and a spell if the spell is a bonus action, right?
Yes.
Yes.
Okay. So I will do vicious mockery at the doohickey.
Okay.
Oops. I didn't mean to go away.
That's 6 wisdom save.
Oh, sorry. 13 is the target, so. Oh, Jesus Louise. Alright, I give up. I was trying to turn myself around, but I was having trouble with
It's
Good. So yeah, I should probably actually roll, right? Right, sure. So 3, and it gets disadvantage on its next attack.
okay.
And then I will do a healing word on Beauregard
Oh, lovely.
for
5 healing. Well, thank you kindly, sir.
and that's me.
Then Bo.
Bo will go 5, 10, 15, 20, 25, 30. And come in right behind this thing. And I'm gonna again take a swipe with my not as great as I thought it was sword. It's much greater that time.
At 21, you strike this creature. And as your blade passes through it, you feel it just sort of pass through in such a way that you don't feel as though you really did much. You do see the creature sort of dims in its radiance, but it not as much as you would have hoped.
I mutter and curse under my breath as I reach I take one hand off of the great sword and reach to start drawing the short sword. God damn it! I didn't want to have to use this little piece of shit.
It didn't dim a lot. It just dimmed some.
Yeah,
Yeah.
just dim some.
Am I
And
missing
that's the end of my
something?
turn. Oh, I'm sorry. I actually did 14 damage because I was raging.
Good call.
So it's an additional 1 to him. I mean,
Excellent. Then Ophelia.
Ophelia is going to flop her arms around in exasperation at Beauregard and say, "You just ruined my spell. You're right in the way." And then she's going to be forced to take the disengage action to back up Beauregard. And that's her turn.
well, you're welcome for coming to your rescue, ma'am.
Ophelia huffs and she puffs and she uses
Hops away.
disengage. Orion.
I will attempt to. Oh boy, they don't seem very rugged, do they? I'm gonna attempt a guiding bolt anyway.
Go for it. Ranged spell attack.
Dang, nope.
Dang.
Whoosh.
Not very good with these.
And these things
Probably
have a
because
pretty high
Beauregard's
AC
right
too.
in the way.
1, 2, 3, 4, 5. I'll move up. All set.
All right. Sill.
All right, I'm gonna move up. And I'm gonna attack with Shillelagh.
His butt cheek.
Shillelagh.
Ooh, for a 13.
To hit?
Yes.
That does not hit. You swing out like a baseball bat and it just rises up higher than your swing.
That is it, I believe.
All right. Then at the top of the round, it is going to.
I'm gonna use my reaction quick for 2d4. 4.
4, okay. It dims slightly more before a voice sort of booms out from the entity.
Follow me to your doom, fools.
And it is going to take the disengage action and then move real far.
Well, I for one like green. Let's go.
Well, that's the way we were going, isn't it?
Sure is.
Well,
Noah.
I will follow it to my doom. I guess I can't really help by taking another vicious mockery attack at it. And I've got nothing covered. I'll just do it.
It rolls a 9.
2 damage. More disadvantage.
Beautiful. Bo.
Bo, he's gonna. Dash.
Okay. So you catch up to it, but are
And
unable to.
I lose my rage.
But are unable to attack.
Right.
Ophelia.
Ophelia is going to shock everyone by Eldridge blasting it
Incredible.
for 15.
Never saw it coming.
Wow.
Nope.
Nope.
whizzes over Beauregard's shoulder as the thing just drops very suddenly.
She'll move 5, 10, 15.
Okay, Orion.
And we'll just call upon Sacred Flame, DC 13, Dex 13.
18.
Okay.
Feast over.
And yep, we'll hold off on the rest. Yep, all set.
Still.
All right, I'll move up and cast. What am I gonna cast Thorn Whip on it.
Ooh.
Love me some Thorn Whip.
Ooh, 14. Not rolling well.
The whip does not hit. It goes just shy of it, and it sort of just zips out of the way. This thing appears to be incredibly agile and very, very difficult to pin down. It is going to leave. If Beauregard doesn't strike it down, it's going to move 100 feet.
Oh,
Do I
boy.
get an attack on it?
If you want to use your reaction,
I do.
With your short sword.
Yeah, the charged short sword.
just shy.
Oh.
Just you barely miss. The very tip of the blade is just like an inch too short, and you curse its inferior length.
You are used to the larger one, yeah.
Stupid
the,
short sword.
As the wisp sort of zips into the fog. You can see its faint light getting fainter and fainter, and
Will, I
think-
tried, y'all.
I think in theory, Ophelia could make another Eldritch Blast, but I don't think
True,
anyone
you
else
have
can match.
120 feet.
Yeah, like if you moved up a little bit on your turn, I'll let you make an Eldritch Blast attack.
15, 20, 25, 30.
And if anyone else has any other spells in their bags of tricks that can match that, go for it. But
10.
it would definitely be
No
getting
good.
away.
Yeah, it's out.
Okay.
Yep. I'm gonna skip another guiding bolt. We'll let it get away and leave the spells for some healing.
I feel like I'm doing okay after that quick heal from Notes. Or from sorry, from Noah.
They're just fine. Does anybody else need a little assistance?
No.
I am all right.
I know. Still took some damage.
It was temporary hit points. I'm okay.
Alright, well, I'll save that for a more dire need.
Let's stay close together so we don't get lost in this fog. And let's keep going on. But suffice to say, whoever they are, they know that we're here.
And they are going to give us doom.
The next time we play.
Yeah, so with that, you guys make your way into the fog to see what doom lies ahead of you.
And level 4, 5, 6, right?
You did tell me you were going to ask every game.
And I will.
And
And you said it was my job.
it basically is as a player. We are not going to level up this time, but provided you guys snap to it on next session, we can maybe think about that.
Woo!
So good stuff tonight, guys. It was interestingly enough, you guys spent a lot of time in the places everyone else zips through, and you zip through all the places that everyone spends a lot of time in it. So so good stuff. It was a very unique run of that section of Gladeview. It's very unlike most groups.
Well, I like to say that we are very unlike most groups. we are quite odd, I
something.
suppose. We're something. Yeah, that's a good way to put it.
Yeah.
We
Let's
ourselves
see.
are strange and unusual.
There you go. Well put. This group has 13 viewers, and they're on episode 13, and it says Owlbears. So that's who I'm rating.
Yeah,
Nice.
go.
I'm just
sounds
gonna
fantastic.
raid them. I don't know who they are or if they're any good, but giving back to the community. Here we go. We are gonna
Owlbear.
raid Das Lothman. I don't know. Anyway, thank you everybody for tuning in tonight. And if you're watching on a video, great. Don't forget to like and follow the trail. Bye.
And seed.
6, 5, 4,
Oh, not yet.
3, 2,
seed.
and we're raiding now. Thank you. Have a good night.
We did it.
Aw.